For years, buying a Chinese motorcycle was a little bit like ordering a steak from a petrol station. Technically, you could, but you probably shouldn't. But now, something rather unexpected has happened because the Chinese haven't just built a cheap bike, they've built this. Magnificent, isn't it? And it should be, because the 921RR was designed in collaboration with MV Agusta. It even has an MV-derived engine making 127 horsepower that started life in the Brutale 920. It features the MV signature single-sided swing arm, Brembo radial monoblock calipers hugging dual 320mm discs, and a Bosch IMU and electronics package working out what the brakes and shocks are up to. And all of this for less than the price of two Japanese 125s. So the big question for today, is this motorcycle the one that proves that China can build something that we actually want to buy? Or is it the most convincing replica they've ever made? Well, you know how the old saying goes, there's only one way to find out.
I've never been a specs guy, you know that, if you've ever watched anything on this channel. So for me, it's about how it is on the road. Now, I'm in a proper sports position, I'm leaned all the way forward. Weight is on my wrists, my legs are bunched up underneath me, and I'm laying down on the tank, aka proper sports bike position. If you buy a bike with RR in the name, this is the position that you're going to be in, isn't it? So this is the 921cc 127 horsepower engine derived from the MV Agusta, and it should get us from 0 to 60 in about 3.3 seconds and onto a top speed of around 157 miles an hour. I'm not going to try and beat any of those figures today, not on these public roads. The bike just sounds angry, so angry, that exhaust. I cannot believe that exhaust is legal. How the hell did that get approved in today's world? Sounds like something the government will put an extra tax on for. The steering's got this like heaviness to it. It really wants to be centered, and as soon as like you start leaning, there's a dead zone where it's not doing much, and then it tips over like, ugh. I don't know how to explain it, but it's yeah, it's a hefty kind of steering feel. No doubt because of this dampener that's down here in front of me. If we get some twistiers, they'll see if that is a good thing or a bad thing. I can imagine after a long time this position becoming quite uncomfortable, but it's the kind of bike that it is. I can't blame it for that. This is the position that you ride these kind of bikes in. Maybe if you're 19, you won't notice it as much, but I mean, if you're anywhere past 30, you'll feel it. I'm not really used to it though, so. The suspension is just solid. There's no giving it whatsoever. You feel every bump in the road. But you know exactly what's going on underneath you, which you need to. You absolutely need to with a bike like this. I love the sound of it. It sounds so angry.
Here's something the QJ Motor would never tell you. MV Agusta didn't plan to build this bike with them. They tried Austria first. They had a deal with KTM to build MV's engines, this engine. And on paper that looked like the safe choice, a solid European partner. But then KTM kind of fell apart, didn't it? The whole thing just collapsed, and MV was left with a brilliant engine and no one left in Europe to build it. And so it went to China instead. Not as a backup plan as such, but QJ Motor have got a reputation as a manufacturer that pumps out over 1 million bikes every year. Now this doesn't feel like a modern sports bike, because modern sports bikes are screaming, nervous things that only make sense when they're at 9,000 RPM or so. This one just doesn't play that game at all. This feels like 1992. A big, torquey engine that does its best work in the middle of the revs, not at the top. It's got more in common with something like an old Fireblade than anything sat in a showroom today wearing race graphics. And it's heavy, like really heavy. The steering doesn't flick, it leans in on its own terms. Most bikes this size would be kind of embarrassed by that, but this one doesn't care. It's not trying to be sharp, it's trying to be planted. And to be fair, it kind of pulls it off. So then, is this a Chinese bike we'd actually buy, or just the best copy they've made so far? I said I'd answer that, so here goes. It's good. Genuinely good. Real MV parts in the engine, brakes you'd find on bikes twice the price, and a price tag that kind of looks like a typo at first. £8,999. QJ Motor isn't just some bloke in a shed either, they build over 1 million bikes a year. That's more than Kawasaki, Triumph and Harley Davidson put together. And if they can build a bike this polished with this much kit for $8,999, then the question isn't whether China can build a proper motorcycle, it's what the rest of the industry has been charging you for all this time. There's a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty too, which definitely beats just crossing your fingers and kind of hoping for the best. Here's what I can't tell you, because nobody can yet. What's one of these worth in 3 years' time? What does it look like at 40,000 miles? Chinese bikes have a history of falling apart quietly and losing value loudly. And this one's got different bones underneath it though, so I don't know, ask me again once it's done a full lap of the clock. But right now, sat on it today, it's not a copy, and I'm not going to tell you it's secretly as good as the Japanese bikes it's borrowing ideas from, because I don't know that yet. Nobody does. Here's what I do know. Somewhere between this bike and the one that costs $3,000 more, you're paying for something. Maybe it's real engineering, maybe it's reliability, nobody's tested yet on this one. Or maybe it's just a badge you trust because your dad trusted it too. I can't tell you which one is true, but sit on this thing for 5 minutes and tell me if you still care.